What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel where we speak the truth, we're honest, and we give our takes on the Miami Dolphins. Very different style of video. I was recording this exact podcast on my computer, but my computer ran out of storage, and I felt like just throwing in the towel and be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not recording for the night, but I'm like, no, you know what? I want to get a video out. I want to talk more about Jeff Hafley, even if it's for like 15 minutes. I want to do something tonight. We're 24 hours removed from the Jeff Hafley hire with the Miami Dolphins. And for those of you who do not know, Thursday is going to be a big day. Thursday morning, to be specific, because Thursday morning is the John Eric Sullivan, Jeff Hafley introduction podcast, introduction press conference, I should say, to the Miami Dolphins. For the first time, John Eric Sullivan and Stephen Ross and Jeff Hafley probably. I'm sorry. Stephen Ross talked in the Mike McDaniel presser when Mike McDaniel got first introduced. So I do expect Stephen Ross to be there and be present on Thursday when he introduces John Eric Sullivan as the new general manager and when John Eric Sullivan introduces Jeff Hafley as the new head coach of the Miami Dolphins. But how are you guys feeling 24 hours after the hire? I'm feeling very optimistic. I'm not excited about it. I'm also not mad about it. And we, as a fan base, I feel like we don't have a choice but to give this guy a chance. And I just want to tell you, for all you Dolphins fans out there that are like, oh my God, why did we give Hafley a 5-year deal? He looks, his forehead, all this shit that they've been saying about Hafley since Saturday, because let's be real, when it was announced on Saturday that Hafley was going to get the in-person interview, the first in-person interview with the Miami Dolphins, he was getting that job. So when he was going into the building, Jeff Hafley was 100% going to get that job as the Miami Dolphins head coach. And Tom Pelissero was even on the Rich Eisen show saying that Jeff Hafley is in the building right now with the Miami Dolphins, and I'm not sure he's leaving that building without a head coaching job, because he was a final candidate for the Tennessee Titans. And if Jeff Hafley left yesterday without a job, he might be the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. Now, obviously, that did not happen. The Miami Dolphins went on and they hired Jeff Hafley, and the Tennessee Titans last night, they hired Robert Saleh as their head coach. And for everybody that is also saying this is not the exciting, this is not the sexy hire, how many times have we gone through that? That we've had the sexy hire in the coaching cycle. 2016, Adam Gase. Oh, this guy coached with Peyton Manning. He was on the coaching staff when the Broncos won the Super Bowl. He's going to be in here, this bright offensive mind. That was a total failure. Mike McDaniel, nobody knew about him, but he was apparently an offensive genius coming from the San Francisco 49ers. He comes in here, the Rolexes, the shoes, the quirky attitude, the jokes. Comes in here, he's got a team full of track stars, and that failed. So honestly, you could sit there and you could complain that This is not an exciting hire. This is a very boring hire. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Sometimes boring could be the right answer in a solution. So if you think Jeff Hafley's hire is boring, that could be a good thing. That could actually be a good thing. Now, I am excited to hear what Jeff Hafley has to say on Thursday, because I have seen some of his press conferences that he has had with the Packers and in Boston College, and I am very impressed by the way that man speaks. And just the clear difference from Mike McDaniel cutting a press conference to Jeff Hafley cutting a press conference is night and day. And that makes me very excited. As I don't have to listen to Mike McDaniel press conferences anymore. Another thing about Hafley is how well respected he is by players. And there's been a lot of people coming out in support of Jeff Hafley ever since he got this job. LaShawn McCoy, Richard Sherman, there's a soundbite of him talking about how awesome Hafley is. There's a lot of people, a lot of players. And there's a soundbite that I listened to yesterday with Adam Schefter talking to a random owner. It's like, what head coach do you think would be available come January? He's like, I don't know. And the owner was like, and this is a story that Schefter told. He's like, give just one. He's like, okay, well, if you had to ask me, someone that I truly believe is knocking it out of the park and would be a great hire is Jeff Hafley. And the owner was like, that's exactly the answer I wanted. Jeff Hafley, because Jeff Hafley has opened a lot of eyes around the league. Jeff Hafley, listen, this is not like last time where nobody was interviewing Mike McDaniel. The Dolphins were the only team that interviewed Mike McDaniel. Jeff Hafley was interviewed by Cleveland, Las Vegas, Atlanta, Tennessee, and the Dolphins. And who got him? The Dolphins got him. John Eric Sullivan, they got his guy. And also, may I add, for the people that are saying that, like, I was questionable about it first, but then it's like, okay, say I'm about to become, okay, I'm gonna give a school example for you guys. Say I'm about to become a principal in a school district, okay? I'm about to become a principal, and I'm going to use my working environment as an example with this, okay? I'm a principal at an elementary school. I just got hired to be a principal of an elementary school, which means I'm overseeing all operations in the school. Who would I want to hire as like an administrator or as an assistant principal? I would want to hire people I know. I would want to hire somebody that I've been in a school district with, I have a working relationship with, and I'm comfortable working with. So in John Eric Sullivan's case, it's only been 2 years, but he's been able to see with his own eyes how Jeff Hafley has operated his defense. Obviously, John Eric Sullivan likes that. Jeff Hafley has the same vision as John Eric Sullivan does, as developing players through the draft, grooming them. And what's something that like Matt LaFleur and a lot of other people have said about Jeff Hafley? Jeff Hafley knows how to develop and groom players into getting the best out of them. So, this could be the best hire for the Miami Dolphins. Is it the best situation to go into for 2026? No, it is not. Do they have to get their franchise quarterback this season? Honestly, I don't think they have to. Chris Greer created this team, created such a mess for this team that this year, like I've said it in previous videos and previous podcasts, the Dolphins are gonna stink next year. Well, I'm just gonna be completely, totally honest with you guys. The Dolphins are going to stink this year. They got a hard schedule. They have dead money in cap space. They have to extend players. They have to extend Devon Achane, Aaron Brewer, and Jordan Brooks. And they are probably going to get off of that Tua Tagovailoa contract. They are going to part ways with Tua. And they are probably going to part ways with Tyreek Hill. John Eric Sullivan did not talk about Tua, and he did not talk about Tyreek Hill when he had that interview with Travis Wingfield. So this is going to be, I'm not going to say tank, because you can't tell a group of young players, hey, we got to go out there and we got to tank the season and we got to win like 5 games. This is going to be a building block year. This is all about building the foundation and building the culture in Miami with Jeff Hafley and John Eric Sullivan. First-time head coaches, sometimes they don't win the first year, but they could build great cultures. Look at Mike Macdonald, the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks weren't in the playoffs last year. The Seahawks went 9-8 last year. What happened? They didn't get their quarterback last year. They got their quarterback this year. They got Sam Darnold. Now, they have the best defense in the NFL. They are the best team in the NFL. And Mike Macdonald has his team, the Seattle Seahawks, competing in the NFC Championship game on Sunday. So, this takes time. And I'm not saying that they have to go out and they have to get their franchise quarterback this year. I am going into this season with very, very low expectations. And that's with Malik Willis. We've got to be honest with ourselves. This is a conversation for closer to free agency. But let's say the Dolphins bring in Malik Willis. You don't overpay him. You sign him to like a friendly 2-year, $30 million deal. Are we sure Malik Willis is going to have the same success that he did in Green Bay? I mean, time will tell. He's obviously got the connections now in Miami. And there's been a report that came out today that many executives in the NFL believe that the Dolphins are going to be pursuing Malik Willis in the offseason. I don't hate that. But we gotta question ourselves. Are the Dolphins going to have the best personnel for Malik Willis to succeed? We will talk more about that as we get closer to free agency. But for the time being, it's all about Jeff Hafley. And the next order of business is the press conference on Thursday. And we will be reacting to the Jeff Hafley, John Eric Sullivan press conference on Thursday. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Subscribe, comment down below your thoughts on the video. Hit the like button, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Conlon_Joseph. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for AEW Dynamite, right here on the Big Fight Fuel channel. Peace.